Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to the Real Bros podcast. I'm your host, Logan Thomas, and with me, as always, is my most excellent co host.
Caden Green.
And together we are
The Real Bros.
And today, Caden, what are we talking about?
A movie.
Ooh, who's it made by?
A person.
Awesome.
The movie we're talking about today is Transformers, and this came out in 2007 with a PG-13 rating.
The I really don't know how to describe this movie other than explosions and giant CGI robots
Yes.
and horrible human acting.
Yes. Mostly explosions, though.
And a bunch of slow-mo action sequences.
Yep.
Your typical Michael Bay movie.
It sounds about right.
Caden, what made you put this movie on your list?
Well, I've always loved the Transformers series. Granted, I stopped watching them after so long.
Right.
But just the thought of, giant robots turning into cars I always loved the idea.
Yeah. And honestly, my first exposure to Transformers was the toys and not really the animated series.
See, I don't think I've ever watched the G1 series.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not anything too special or anything, but it's still cool to see what is essentially pretty much like every other 80s cartoon, like He-Man and Thundercats and all that kind of stuff. But it was just
Yeah, but unlike those other two, Transformers has had several adaptations.
that is also fair.
I would say out of all of them, Transformers is by far the most successful.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, G.I. Joe's right behind that.
If even.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, G.I. Joe had two movies to it,
Something like that.
and then you don't hear anything about the show anymore. You don't hear anything about the comics.
No, I mean they are working on a Transformers / G.I. Joe movie right now, I suppose, but I guess that's probably a couple years away. Anyways, we're not talking about that movie
We're talking about Transformers,
from
the original.
Yes, not Transformers the movie. Transformers from 2007.
Yeah, just Transformers.
I honestly say Transformers the movie is 100 times better than this movie.
That's G1, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one where it's with the Matrix of Leadership and
Oh.
Optimus quote unquote dies at the end of that movie and creates a new lead character and then he's
Okay.
he's gone for an entire season of the show afterwards, and then season 4 comes back. Oh my gosh, Optimus Prime is alive. And then the show ends 12 episodes later just because it gotten so terrible.
But anyway,
Caden?
Is there anything you want to add?
I think this is a good movie. I don't think kids should watch it by any means.
It does say parental supervision strongly advised.
I'd say this, if you want your kids to get into action movies, this would be a good one to start them out with.
Yeah, there's probably better ones, but this one's well known.
Yeah.
You don't got to do a whole lot of searching for it.
No. And, it's just giant robots.
Yeah.
The kids are going to be entertained.
Of course.
Caden, hit us with your quick review.
Okay, so as I said, we are talking about Transformers. Came out 2007, PG-13 rating. It was directed by Michael Bay and produced by Steven Spielberg, correct?
Yes.
So, Michael Bay, at this point in time, he's kind of well known for explosions, which explains a lot. But the story of this movie is that there's a robot alien war going on between two factions known as the Autobots and the Decepticons for a powerful artifact known as the Allspark, which is capable of creating life from nothing, pretty much. This Allspark lands on Earth And after so long, both factions arrive on Earth as well to fight for ownership of it.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good apt description of it. I mean, af- as I was as we were rewatching this earlier, I had honestly forgotten about how much of a political movie it was, like how much of like a government military film it was. Because when I was young, I always used to skip through parts of movies, and I would just watch the parts with Optimus Prime in this movie. Because when we first started watching this, is like, holy crap, this is 2.5 hours long. I don't remember it being this long.
So this is probably the first time you've seen the whole movie in one sitting in a while.
I haven't watched this movie in probably at least 5 years. I mean I've rewatched Rise of the Beasts more times than I've watched this one.
I haven't seen that one.
What?
It just didn't seem interesting to me.
It's 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 a it's a good return to form, and it gives you the vibe of a lot of the animated shows.
I think
Like
the last Transformers movie I watched was Bumblebee.
I haven't seen that one.
Hmm?
So we're both on like a out with the last two Transformers movies. We've only seen half of the last two that aren't quote unquote in the Bayverse. Caden, anything else you want to add to these guys before we get jumping into the production tales?
Yeah, I think we're good to start moving.
All right, into production tales it is. So this movie, when they wanted an adaptation of G.I. Joe. So Hasbro was working like, we want a G.I. Joe movie. This is like 2003. We're like, we're going to do this. But then the invasion of Iraq happened.
Oh.
And Hasbro was like, you know what? That's probably not the best idea. We're just going to pull this project. And they just said, like, hey, make Transformers instead. So, the writer Don Murphy, who initially wanted the G.I. Joe movie, then worked with Hasbro, and he was like, okay, I'll do your Transformers movie. He was working on a script. He met with a comic book writer, Simon Furman, who cited the G1 or Generation 1, which is the original series cartoon, as the main influence. They made the creation matrix the plot of their device, which is, it's kind of like a mixture of the Allspark and the Matrix of Leadership, because the Allspark really wasn't
A thing in the original.
not as much as the Matrix of Leadership, and even then, the
Yeah.
Matrix of Leadership was like the plot of Transformers the movie,
Yeah.
and it's about how like a power shift, and that's pretty much what the Matrix of Leadership is.
Yeah.
But so their plot device using the Murphy had to rename it because of the Matrix film series that was coming out at the time. um, DeSanto, who was his writing project, it doesn't say his first name, but chose to write the treatment with a human point to view a view for the audience to engage with the story.
And real quick, I always say, oh, I don't like the human aspects in a lot of these movies. This one kind of benefits from it, I would say.
It's definitely better than what a lot of like the MonsterVerse does.
Yeah, because in this movie, humans are, more close in size.
Yeah.
So that way they can actually interact.
Yeah. And Murphy wanted to have a realistic tone reminiscent of a disaster film, which is very apparent.
Yeah.
The treatment featured the Autobots Optimus Prime, Ironhide, Jazz, Prowl, RC, Ratchet, and Wheeljack, and Bumblebee. That was in the original draft.
Okay.
And the Decepticons was Megatron, Starscream, Soundwave, Ravage, Laserbeak, Rumble, Skywarp, and Shockwave. So there was definitely a lot bigger story originally
Oh yeah.
than what we got. Steven Spielberg, who is the producer, he has been a fan of Transformers since the creation. He came on, and one of the first drafts had only 4 Transformers on each side. That was like the original.
Okay.
And it would feature the arc storyline with like the Transformers coming to Earth, and like they had already abandoned Cybertron at that point. For anybody who knows the actual, I don't want to say quote unquote canon of the Transformers lore, but
Yeah, the original lore.
the original lore, which was heavily featured in the cartoons and stuff. Um, uh, um, they decided to get rid of that because they didn't want a complete translation of what the cartoon was.
Right.
And Robert Orkey and Alex Kurtzman, who are fans of the cartoon, were hired to rewrite the script in 2005 by Spielberg. And Spielberg told them that a boy in his car should be the main focus of the story. So this appealed to Orkey and Kurtzman, who, because it convened themes of adulthood and responsibility, and that things that a car represents in the United States. Interesting.
Yeah, a little bit.
And the characters of Sam and Michaela were the sole point of view given in Orkey and Kurtzman's first draft. The Transformers had no dialogue in that draft.
Ew.
No,
Ew.
no, 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 no.
No.
So those same writers remain involved, adding additional dialogue for the robots during the sound mixing, although none were kept in the final film, which ran 15 minutes shorter than the initial edit. Interesting. Yeah. And the original title of this movie was The Prime Directive. What? What? What do you get from Prime Directive?
Sounds like a streaming service.
It does sound like a streaming service. It was a fake working title.
Oh.
I wish that would say that beforehand, but sorry, audience.
Not really.
It was also the name of the Dreamwave Productions' first Transformers comic book. So that I can see that being the name of a comic book.
Yeah.
Michael Bay came on board in 2005, but he dismissed the film as a stupid toy movie. Nonetheless, he wanted to work with Steven Spielberg and gave him new respect.
Spielberg?
Spielberg.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
And gained a new respect for the concept upon visiting Hasbro. Bay considered the first draft too kiddie, and so he increased the military's role in the story. I'm sorry, I'm reading this and it's all blending together. Which honestly, that's pretty much like every other Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
He loves his military presence.
He loves his explosions.
Yeah. And a lot, I guess some of the story leaked there. Starscream was the only character present in each version of this. Optimus, Megatron, and Bumblebee and Starscream were the only characters in each version of the script. Everyone else kind of fell in and out.
Well, I mean, yeah, that would make sense. It's like you have the good guy and his right-hand man, and then bad guy and his right-hand man.
Yeah. They dropped Darcy because it'd be too difficult to explain robotic gender. What? That's not how that works, man. RC is one of the better characters in Transformers. She's like the one who connected with the humans the most in the original, not Bumblebee. But whatever.
Yeah, you get some, you get some.
He said Michael Bay considered the way he made this movie is to compare it to a James Cameron film.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. And they changed the size of the Transformers to be somewhat ratioed to their vehicles.
Okay.
So like that's why some are taller than others and they weren't all like the same size or whatever. But even in like the cartoons and stuff, they're not all the same size.
Yeah.
There are some that are
Massive.
Jinx.
No.
Oh. And he also wanted a lot more of a real look to him. He didn't want them to be blocky. Is what he's is what this says.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, but for some of the designs, I feel like being blocky would have been a little better. Because now we're just given, like, rigid edges on a lot of the characters.
Rigid edges and a lot more of a human form than
Yeah.
just like, hey, that guy's like a Minecraft character. And they took a lot of their designs for the Transformers from samurai armor, returning the full circle to the Japanese origins of the toy line.
Okay.
Did you get that vibe?
Not at all.
That's I was gonna.
I mean, maybe more on, like, Starscream, but not the others.
Yeah. They shot a lot of this stuff on in real life, like the Pentagon and stuff. They had to be very careful around there because this was not long after 9/11 and everything, and
Yeah.
so they were, yeah. They shot the Hoover Dam. They did a lot of work at the Hoover Dam,
I can imagine, especially with some of the shots they were getting.
and they had to do it like early in the morning before tourists were allowed on the dam at 10 a.m. That's just kind of fun. Production in California was based at Hughes Aircraft at Playa Vista, where the hangar in which Megatron is imprisoned was built. 6 weekends were spent in Los Angeles shooting the climactic battle, with some elements being shot at the Universal Studios backlot. I could kind of tell that.
Yeah.
They actually used some of Bay's footage from his last movie, which was Pearl Harbor in 2001.
Hmm.
I don't think I picked up on any of that.
No, I did not.
But anywho, but filming opened 2000. They started filming in 2006 November. Whoa, hang on a second. It doesn't say when filming started. Sorry, they finished filming in October of 2006,
Okay.
which is weird, but it doesn't say why when it started shooting. But April, 3 paragraphs before that. Sorry. He originally wanted to only make this an 83-day shoot.
No.
That's he wanted to try to save money as much as possible in this movie. Dude, when you're making a movie like Transformers, there's not going to be any money saved.
Yeah, especially when every 5 minutes there's 3 different explosions.
Yeah, that ain't no crap. Visual effects. Spielberg encouraged Bay to restrict CGI to the robots and background elements only. He wanted a lot more. What's the word I'm looking for here? Practical. He wanted a lot more practical effects in camera as possible,
Yeah.
which I'm pretty sure Bay is pretty good at. As we, it definitely gets a lot more CGI as the movies go on,
Oh, of course.
but I think this one definitely captured practical extremely well.
Oh yeah.
It just, I think it'd just been cooler if they were able to use maybe more practical for Transformers in some instances. I mean, they did for Bumblebee in a couple.
Granted, that would be very difficult
Yeah,
on a
but
lot larger scales, but
like when your backer is Steven Spielberg, I feel like you should be able to get away with anything you want. Especially at this point, he's still like one of the like biggest filmmakers in Hollywood at this point.
right.
So, but ILM handled the visual effects, which you can tell because it's top notch.
Even today, it still holds up.
Yeah, I would say it holds up more than a lot of the more recent movies do.
Oh, for sure.
Sorry, Marvel. And that's pretty much it for the production. Let's get to the money. Caden, what are your guesses for the budget here?
200 million.
Close.
Oh.
$150 million was the budget for this movie.
Okay. And then
How much do you think this thing grossed?
close to $1 billion.
Very close.
I'm on a roll.
You were farther off on this one than you were the first. Transformers grossed a total of $709.7 million. And becoming the fifth highest grossing film of 2007. I mean, granted, um, I see a Reddit page here that has all of the amounts of money that it made, of all the ones that they made.
Right.
The second one, two of them hit $1 billion.
Oh.
That was 3 and 4. That was it. That was at the height of the franchise and
Yeah.
everything. But, whatever. And that's all I got from that. All right, Caden, anything else you want to add to anything before we kind of like chop off our spoiler free territory? Or
If you haven't seen this movie already, go see it. It's very good. It definitely fits a lot of the tropes from the 2000s eras of action movies.
oh, definitely, especially some of the ones that like, hey, let's be sci-fi in action.
And it's like you're gonna get a lot of instances of, oh, loser kid gets the girl because he's the chosen one or something like that.
Pretty much. So,
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, it's Carly brought this up before we get started about how like a lot of movies, because like Megan Fox is in this movie. You were talking about this and all that other crap. And like, I don't, because we were talking about like how Michael Bay movies always have like hot chicks and
Yeah.
stuff, and we're like, Carly's like, where's all the normal looking people at in this movie? And I was like, well,
For Michael Bay, those are normal people.
I know, right? Supermodels are the substandard, which this is a PSA. They are not.
Supermodels aren't all that super.
Nope.
That's a hot topic, but I'm willing to debate that.
Yep.
Later.
But like my thought, and like people say this all the time, some of these physiques that these people have are completely unhealthy to have.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Hugh Jackman in Wolverine, that is a completely unhealthy physique. Does he look great? Yeah.
Yes.
But it's also incredibly unnatural.
Yeah, it's not unnatural.
Okay, it's not unnatural.
Hugh Jackman is probably the worst example you could have given, because that's just him maintaining his body.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's not
Okay,
him like
well-
starving himself and just eating nothing but ice cubes and drinking water.
That's not even like he does an extensive regime. He said he eats like 5,000 calories a day when he's doing that job.
Well, still, like,
Yeah.
I'm sure he's burning off a lot of those calories.
Yeah, because
Regardless.
like I was watching a thing where he said like he'd wake up at like 2 a.m., protein shake, 2 mile run, breakfast, which was steak and eggs,
That's a good breakfast.
work out again, do his shooting for the day. Then he'd run another 2 miles. Then he'd have salad and chicken for lunch. He'd come home, exercise again,
God.
have fish for supper. Then he'd run again.
I think he likes running.
Yeah, I mean, it's oof. Anyways, don't put people like this as like I'm gonna look like that person. Don't do that.
Don't put them on this super podium. You can like them. Don't try and be like them.
No, you are the way you are. Everybody, don't try to be like some actor or whatever.
You're perfect as is. We'll leave it at that.
You know it.
All right. Are we?
And now we're a podcast about self help.
No, we are not qualified.
We are not at
We
all.
will never be qualified.
I don't want to be qualified for
You can
self-help.
move that idea as far away from us as possible,
You know it.
and it would still be too close.
So that means everything we just said is wrong. Be
Yeah.
like your favorite actors,
No,
everybody.
don't. All right.
All right,
Are
Kane,
we ready?
I think so. I just felt like I should say that because Carly brought up a good point.
All right.
Don't give me that look. Everybody, this is your spoiler warning. Give me that look. Go watch this movie if you haven't already. It's fun. Caden, take her away for our in-depth spoiler review.
Alrighty. All right. So the movie kind of starts out as a what's the word I'm looking for? A background description.
It's very much kind of like if this movie had a Star Wars title crawl,
Yeah,
but it's just Peter Cullen just laying down what's up.
yeah. And so it kind of starts with the voice actor of Optimus Prime saying, like, the Allspark creates life on any planet that it comes across. And the Autobots want to use it for good. The Decepticons want to use it for evil. And that's pretty much the whole opening sequence. I mean, the Allspark smashes into a couple asteroids, but also the Allspark is massive.
I forget what because they gave a measurement.
That wasn't for the Allspark.
Oh, that
was to hide its energy.
Oh,
But I want to say the Allspark is at least a 3-story apartment building.
oh yeah, because like Bumblebee looked small
Yes.
compared to the Allspark.
And the Allspark is a cube. All 6 faces are the exact same size.
Mm-hmm.
It's massive.
And it can change in size depending on whatever it touches, I guess, or some
It's
weird
never
like that.
explained, but anyway.
Alien witchcraft.
Yeah. But the Autobots scatter across the universe trying to find the Allspark, as the Decepticons are doing the same thing.
And I don't know if this is important, but like the Autobots want it because their war has pretty much destroyed the ecosystem of Cybertron.
Yes.
And the Autobots want it to pretty much
restore what was destroyed.
make their planet habitable for them again.
Yes.
And Megatron just wants it to terraform the universe to what he sees fit because he's a megalomaniacal.
Megalomaniac.
Fine. You say it.
I just did.
But yeah, in case that doesn't really like sum it up, because like they only really say it once in this entire movie what their goals are.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just like government conspiracy this, government conspiracy that,
Aliens here, aliens there.
shootout, explosion.
Several more explosions in a row. But after this kind of intro scene, I might be wrong on this, but we are introduced to our main character, Sam
No,
Wit. No? Okay, so I am wrong.
it's I know it's because we meet our soldiers first.
That's right.
I know it's weird that we have like a half an hour worth of content before we meet our main character, but that's all right because it somehow works.
Somehow.
So we meet our group of soldiers. There's only two that we like really learn the names of, and that's Lennox and Epps. And they are just coming home from a tour, or they're about ready to be sent home.
I
And
think they're getting ready for one because one of the guys sits on about 5 months before being sent home.
are they? I thought it was they've been in duty for 5 months.
The way they made it sound was that they were getting ready for 5 months.
Oh. Anywho, either way,
They're
they're
at an air base.
yeah, they're at a place called Soxon Air Base in Kuwait, and they're pretty much it's kind of like a layover essentially. If they are going home or if they're going back, it really doesn't specify, but
Yeah.
um, they're pretty much doing standard military stuff, like chilling. Lennox calls home, and because his daughter was born while he was over there, and he hasn't held her for the first time, so they video calls him and all this other stuff. And a helicopter
Yep.
is flying through the desert, and it's heading towards this airbase.
And the tower, whoa, the control tower, right?
Yes,
They notice it, send out a couple fighter jets, right? Or is it more
yes,
helicopter?
yes, because it's not responding.
There's a lot of vehicles in this. I'm gonna get it mixed. I'm gonna get them messed up eventually.
Yeah.
But the control tower sends out a couple fighter jets to go intercept the helicopter and bring it back to the base because, as Logan said, it is not responding to anything that they say. Well, they get it back to the base.
And they notice the markings are of a vehicle that was destroyed like 6 months ago.
Yes. And the guy in charge of the command tower is like, "Are you sure?" Then the gentleman that informed the what was his name? The Secretary of Defense, was that who it was?
Yes.
The guy informs the Secretary of Defense, yeah, it was that helicopter because my friend was on it.
Oh no, that wasn't the Secretary of Defense. That was the. I thought you were talking. It's there's a lot of military people in this movie. Okay, I apologize.
Now you're making me look like a fool.
It's very easy for both of us to do that.
Yes.
No, like pretty much one of the radio people say one of my friends was on that helicopter to the communications leader.
Yeah. But they get the helicopter to touchdown, and a bunch of armed men surround it, telling the quote unquote pilot that he needs to step out or he will be sent on vacation.
A nice, lovely vacation to our Middle East.
The helicopter shuts down its rotors, and as it does, they start rising back and the blades fold in on themselves towards the tail blades.
Kind of like hair.
Yes. And it's at this point that I'm just going to spoil it. This Decepticon fully transforms and starts pretty much raiding the airbase for information.
Yeah, it's after its encrypted files.
Yes. And
And that pretty much sets up the next 45 minutes of the movie.
not even 45. You're giving it too much credit.
Okay, the next half an hour just without the Sam Witwicky stuff.
Yeah. But pretty much it just starts blowing everything up, shooting at anything that moves, while also getting the information that it needs for the most part.
Yeah, except it got cut off.
Yes. And this left it with partial information.
Yes.
It then proceeds to send every military personnel on vacation.
Or so we thought. Dot dot dot.
No, yeah, they're all on vacation.
Well, at least they're not in action anymore.
Yeah. And now, if I'm not wrong, now we skip to Sam. Is that correct?
It is correct.
Okay. And Sam Witwicky, because they say his last name like Wiki.
They say Will Wiki or Wiki, or they say it wrong 5 different times.
Yeah. But we cut to him giving a presentation on somebody from his family. And his person was his great grandfather.
Yes.
And something his grandfather did was sail the Arctic Circle.
He was the first one to reach the Arctic Circle.
Yes. And as he's giving this explanation, he starts pulling out some stuff from his great grandfather, such as like his glasses, a compass from the ship that he sailed on.
Yeah, and he's trying to sell all this stuff.
Yeah, because he wants a car.
Yes.
He's in 11th grade and he doesn't have a car.
Loser. Oh, I mean, that's normal people problems.
But eventually the teacher cuts him short because he's been rambling for about 10 minutes about all this stuff.
Pretty much.
And the teacher gives him a B minus. And I wrote down in my notes, Sam is a haggler because he goes on this whole spiel about his dream of buying a car.
This
and
is Steven Spielberg's dream about a boy in a car movie.
And Sam's dad making a deal with him that if he can get some money saved up and at least 2 A's on a test,
$2,000 and 3 A's.
I thought it was 2 A's.
He had the 2 A's. He needed the third.
Oh, okay. And so the teacher was like, all right, whatever, and sends him on his way with an A minus.
I wish I would have known that would work. I would have tried to haggle so many more of my grades.
It would have been a one-time thing, though.
Probably.
So Sam's dad is there at the school to pick him up, and Sam excitedly shows him his report card or his test, and he's like, look, A minus, still an A, though. Like, yeah. So they drive off to a car dealership selling Porsches.
Dude, this is such a dad joke.
And Sam gets all excited. He's like, you're actually going to buy me a Porsche? And Dad's like, no. What do you think I am, crazy?
And clearly the dad's got money because, like, did you see the car he was driving?
Oh, it was a nice Camaro.
I
Or
know.
not a Camaro, but it was convertible.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It's like, and like their yard and stuff, like they clearly have
Their
some
house
money.
is huge.
Yeah. So.
But Sam's dad ends up taking him to a used car dealership.
Named with Bobby Bolivia. Uncle Bobby B, baby.
And this dealership is kind of on the iffy side.
I don't want to say it's iffy. It's somewhere in between iffy and sketchy.
More towards sketchy. Because for some reason, they have a petting zoo.
They have a petting zoo with an ostrich. They have a Mexican guy in a clown outfit where the makeup is burning his eyes. So, yeah. It's leaning more towards the sketchy side.
But Sam and his dad pull up to this dealership, and the guy immediately greets them and start walking around a lot. As they do this, what kind of car was it?
It's a 68 Camaro.
A 68 Camaro with no driver pulls into the lot next to a
Beetle.
Ugly Beetle.
Which is funny enough what Bumblebee was originally based off of.
Yes. But this 68 Camaro pulls up to the Beetle, and Sam sees it and he's like, "Hey, this is a pretty nice car. How much you want for it?" The dealer says 5 grand. He won't take any more for it, even though Sam tries his best to haggle, saying, "Yeah, it might be a custom paint job, but it's still faded."
Yeah.
The dad says no. He won't go any higher than 4 grand. So the guy tries to offer him the Beetle. As Sam gets out of the Camaro or whatever, he closes the door just for the passenger door to swing open hard enough to move the Beetle. And the guy's like, "Okay, well, that's fine. There's plenty of other cars on the lot." Every other car's, any
When
glass
yeah,
on any other car shatters.
with a sonic blast from the radio, which that thing's got some bass. I want to meet that man's sound system.
So obviously, this just leaves the 68 Camaro, which the dealer then drops the price down to 4,000.
Seeing as how now he has to replace every single piece of glass in his parking lot.
Yeah.
Which that is going to be a little bit expensive.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yep, this goes out to Bolivia Auto Sales. Go check them out. Totally real. Make sure there's no Camaros there when you go shopping.
Or else you will be picked by the Camaro.
Not sponsored.
So Sam and his dad drive back to the house, and Sam's excited to try out his new Camaro. And his parents are very, what's the word? They're very plant oriented.
Green thumb.
Yes, they're very green thumb. His dad has meticulously planted every single flower and always cuts his grass to an exact length.
Yes.
And for him, it is such a big deal that anybody walks in his yard instead of on the path.
Yeah. And like he's got like a gigantic stone path, like a huge fountain.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we say like these people have to have money. For like him to be able to do that with his free time, like come on.
Yeah.
Like maybe he owns like a landscaping business or something.
Maybe.
From now he's all like, I got the car, now I need the girl. Which is, what every guy thinks about when he gets his car. He's like, man, now I'm able to get a girlfriend.
Totally.
That's totally how it works. And he checks his eBay for any money, which his account name is Ladiesman217. Heck yeah. um, and so he's like, well, I'm broke, so now I need to hit up a party and find a girl. So I love how like him just checking his page doesn't do anything to his plans whatsoever. So now he's all like, I gotta go to a party.
Well,
Meet a girl.
on his eBay page, the stuff he's trying to sell is his grandfather's stuff.
Yeah, because in his classroom he's like, I take PayPal, I take Visa, I take cash, I take anything you got, man.
And it doesn't work for him.
I mean, when you're selling hard like that, you're not really gonna get anything.
Yeah.
But he goes up to this party with his friend named Miles, which you only see 2 times in this movie.
The first time is during this interaction, and the second time is while Miles is washing his dog.
Yeah. And so like they come up to this party with a jock dude named Trent and Michaela, played by Megan Fox.
Yeah.
The totally great start to her totally awesome acting career.
See, I don't think she's a bad actor.
I
I
just
think she gets put in bad roles that use her more for her body rather than her acting skills.
I know, because like she was just in like a horror movie like last year where it was kind of like Megan, but it was more about an adult AI thing that was made to ease comfort because like the guy lost his wife or something
Yeah.
like that. and then like it turns on him and it like, tries to kill him and his daughter or something like
Yep.
that.
And then she was also in another horror movie a while back, um, where she starts developing like
Oh, Jennifer's Body.
that's what it was. Yep.
Yeah, because we were talking about that, about like how like that kind of like ruined her mentally after everything. And like,
That's what the movie was.
yeah,
Okay.
because like since that was such an overly sexualized movie and everything, even though like I mean like it's a good movie if you think about it, like the
Yeah.
premise and everything. But like when you put an over sexually character when you are playing a succubus
Yeah.
demon, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But then like she got like all like her mental space wasn't that great and she like disappeared for a while. That's why she was only in like 2 of the Transformers movies or whatever.
But regardless, I like her as an actor. I'm not particularly fond of the roles she's in.
No. Like and it's not entirely all the
Her.
casting people's fault or her fault.
Yeah.
And like cuz she was just in the Expendables 4 last year, the year before. I haven't seen that one. I don't want to see that one because like Expendables 3 was like that was like it for me. I was like, I don't really need to go any further than that. But anyways, so him
we're at the party.
yeah. And Miles just starts climbing a tree and
Like a monkey man. He
and
hangs from a branch upside down.
and Sam's like, "Yeah, man, we're here to climb this tree, you know." We're
Totally just do that, nothing else.
and then Trent's all like, "Didn't you try for football last year?" And it cuts to a little thing of him just getting obliterated.
By 4 players at once.
And then Sam is very quick-witted.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I was doing research for a book I was writing about how
Football is related to brain injury.
and he's like, "Yeah, there's like a bunch of coloring pages, there's pop-up pictures, there's mazes and stuff."
He's like, that's perfect for you and your teammates.
Yeah, and then Michaela's all like, "That's enough, that's enough." And he's driving a Hummer and stuff, and she's all like, "Can I drive home?" And he's like, "Babe, these are 22s. I don't want you grinding them. I don't want you messing up my Hummer or anything." And she's all just like, "Whatever, screw you, I'm walking."
And this is kind of the part where I'm not a big fan of Sam because he sees Michaela walking.
In a jeans short and
Which
crop top tank top.
we don't need to describe what she's wearing.
Okay.
But he sees her walking and he looks at Miles and he's like, I need you to do me this favor. I need you to get out of the car so I can take her home. And Miles is like, I could just get in the back seat. And Sam's like, no, I need you out of the car. You're going to have to walk. Do this for me.
He's like, "What? That's not how it works. You know the code." And he's like, "I don't care. Get out."
So Sam ends up picking up Michaela and his radio's busted.
It
Well,
starts playing
a bunch of romance songs.
a bunch of 80s love ballads like "Who's Gonna Drive You Home Tonight" and "Baby Come Back" and all this other stuff. Really sweet and sensual. It even plays sexual healing and stuff.
But
That's when I wrote down Bumblebee is the ultimate wingman because he knows just the right kind of music to play according to
yeah.
his driver's emotions.
But as Sam and Michaela are driving, um, Bumblebee breaks down. I'm just gonna say it right now. The car is Bumblebee. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
It quote unquote breaks down
At
and
pretty much like makeout point.
yeah. And we find out Michaela's kind of the daughter of a mechanic.
Yes.
So she looks at the engine and she's like, wow, a pretty nice engine in this beat up car.
And I'm honestly surprised Bumblebee didn't just like turn back on right then and there because she said how impressive the engine was or something. Like, hey, a compliment.
Yeah. But I can't remember what happens, but she tries to walk off And Sam gets the car to turn back on.
And he just like gets out and he's like, "Hey, wait! Don't walk away!"
And he starts driving towards her. And you can see the car start drifting because he's turning so hard in it.
Yeah.
So
We all thought it was just like hits her, boom, off screen.
But it then cuts to Sam finally dropping Michaela off at her home.
She's all like, "You don't think I'm shallow or anything, do you?" And he's like, "No, man, not at all.
Definitely not.
You are a deep, emotional person, and I appreciate you for it."
And here's the funny thing. They have been in the same class, in the same grade
For
since first grade.
grade,
And they've pretty much had every class together, and she's never once.
like acknowledge his existence.
And so she's kind of like, "Oh, yeah, Sam, sorry. I totally know who you are."
That's why this is like a very much rushed and totally real romance.
Oh, totally.
um, and we get a car stolen.
Yeah.
No. This is when we get cut back to political thriller
Oh, joy.
because we get a shot of Pentagon. Remember, because you wrote that down in your
Yeah,
notes. I remember that because you just wrote down Pentagon.
Yeah, I just at this point, I just wrote the Pentagon because this is like one of a couple of times that it shows up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, the Pentagon. What?
Not again.
But the Pentagon is what is it? The national security?
National security has brought in young people that know hacking and all this other stuff
Yes.
to try to trace
The the Decepticon that attacked the base
left a sound.
and they're having all these people try and figure out like what this sound is, what it relates to, and where it could have came from.
And this is where we meet Maggie, which we didn't really learn her name till like halfway through the movie. Because in my notes, I just put down Australian chick.
That's what I put down.
And she's pretty much like the whiz who like is like, man, this might be alien or something. But of course, nobody believes her.
Because that's paranoid talk.
Yeah, and we cut to Air Force One, where President Bush has just ordered some ding dongs, and we meet. This is what I'm calling him. They don't really say a name for him. I'm calling him the Zimbot, because I could just hear if he had dialogue, like actual dialogue. I could just hear him voiced by the guy who plays Invader Zim.
Oh, absolutely. Just because all the grunts he makes is like really high pitched, kind of
High pitched grunts. He's completely like
sporadic.
And so he's infiltrated Air Force One, and he's just like messing around with stuff, hacking and whatever. And they shut him down halfway through again, and he just starts smacking his face under the screen like, yeah.
Yeah, the Pentagon realizes what's going on, and they shut him down. And it's around this point that B runs off, Bumblebee.
It was right after this is when B drives off.
Because this movie has like a lot of back and forth moments.
Yes. And so Zimbot pretty much where the research stopped, it stopped on Archibald Witwicky and his glasses.
Yes.
So now the Decepticons know, like, hey, we need to get this guy because he knows where the Allspark is.
Yes.
And so this is when B drives off, and Sam chases him with a bike, and he's like, "My car's being stolen! My car's being stolen!"
He's calling the cops. He's not just shouting this out.
Pretty much.
But he's very over the top in everything he does because as he's talking to the cops, he's like, "I need every squadron you have. I need helicopters in the air now."
And then he gets there and he realizes, like, hey, my car's a transformer. Oh crap!
Yeah, he gets to like this.
It's a train yard.
a train yard, and he sees B on top of a.
Building, pretty much shining the Autobots bat signal up in the air.
See, I thought it was like a grain silo almost.
It, it it's it's some form of yard. I don't. Anywho, he pretty much like gets behind someone. He's like, he gets on his phone and he records a message. He's like,
Mom and Dad, I love you. This is for my dog as well. Um, Ignore all the magazines hidden under my bed. They're research purposes only.
um, and he's like, my car just stood up. I'm gonna die. I I don't want to go out like this, but if I have to, this is my last message. And he looks up, and then there's like dogs chasing him, and B shows up. He's like, take the keys. I don't want you anymore. And he just runs off. And then the cops take him because he's acting like he's on drugs.
Not only that, but I'm sure he's trespassing on private property.
That too, probably. And then we get like the weirdest cop scene ever.
Yeah, and I'm really glad they didn't bring this cop back.
'Cause he's all like, you kids doing a little mojo. You want some mojo? He's like,
He's very antagonizing, and he's trying to get Sam to admit that he's on drugs despite not being on any. And he pulls out a bottle of pain pills for his dog named Mojo.
and then he's just like, hey man, you see my piece there? You want to go 50 cent? He's like, and then
Sam's just
Si-
like,
are you on drugs?
yeah, the cop is just trying to start stuff to start stuff.
And his dad is there. He's like, what the heck is going on? Which, by the way, his dad is the most chill dad
Oh, absolutely.
while also being the most stuck up dad at the same time. Like it's pretty
He's the most stern, but the most chill,
yeah.
and the
It's-
most stuck up.
It's awesome.
It
Yeah.
is the weirdest combination. It's like getting hit by whiplash all
I know.
the time.
And so we cut back to at this point. The Decepticons are now after Sam.
Yes.
The scorpion attack in the desert.
Yeah.
So
we don't learn the name of that one, do we?
No, and it's because it's only like a one-off thing because we never see it again in the franchise or whatever. But
I want to say it's like a pet, a Decepticon pet.
it's kind of like what Laserbeak was for
Yeah.
Megatron.
Because that's right. It did shoot out of the one that attacked the original base.
Yeah, shot out of Blackout. So essentially, there were survivors. It was Lennox, Epps, and pretty much their whole squadron.
Yes.
We never see anybody else after this scene of these guys. But the Scorpion bot attacks them. Lennox has to use a credit card to get a hold of the Air Force
Pentagon.
of the Pentagon.
And I think that's done for like security purposes.
It was more of because he's calling from Iraq to try to get America.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they're in the middle of a war zone, and he's just like, "Give me your credit card." And he's like, "Back pocket, back pocket, back pocket." He says it like 5 times.
No, he says left cheek.
5 times. You're right.
because The
He's
guy's
like, back
like,
pocket. You got 10 back pockets. He's like,
left cheek, left cheek, left cheek.
and I would just be like, right cheek. Got it.
But they get a hold of the Pentagon, who I don't know how they get a video of the creature.
They send a
Surveillance drone.
yeah, it's Predator drone.
And they're like, what is that? I don't know, but we need helicopters there ASAP.
And so they take it down using saber rounds, which is the high intensity, high heat round. And so now they're on their way home. And then we get back to Sam, and Bumblebee show back up in his yard.
And
then
now Sam's scared.
he's like, he calls Miles, he's like, Satan's Camaro is in my backyard. It's after me. And he's just like, and Miles is like,
What
are you talking about, dude?
are you okay? And this is the only other time we see Miles. And he's giving
his dog a bath in a kid's pool.
And what breed is it?
I don't really know. I didn't. It's only like on there for like 5 seconds.
I want to
so
say like a Mastiff.
it's something. So he's
Miles just kind of disappears from the casting
Yep.
forever.
And so this is when Sam runs out the front door with his mom's pink bike and is just being chased by Bumblebee through city streets. And he hits a bump and he just goes a complete 180 onto his back on a sidewalk in front of Michaela.
Yeah, I was just gonna say conveniently in front of Michaela and her friends.
Plot.
And she looks at him and she's like, "Hey."
That's pretty awesome. He's like, it
And-
felt awesome.
And then she tries to talk to him and he's like, "Oh, I don't got time to talk. I'm being hunted by my car. I gotta go. Bye."
And then she gets to her moped, which when I first saw it, she's like, does she just like show back up where he is? Because I don't remember her just like in a car or anything. But then I see the moped.
Yeah, no, she just teleports.
Yeah. And so he gets chased to a abandoned building.
Not a.
Is it a
No.
parking garage?
It's an area underneath a bridge.
Gotcha. And this is when we meet Barricade.
Yes. This is the second Decepticon we see transform.
Mhm.
And he is a police cruiser.
A police cruiser that's a Mustang, because that's totally stock.
And on his body, like when he's in car form, he has a motto: to punish and enslave.
Yes. Which I only saw that for the first time watching this, and I was like, dude, that is perfect.
That's funny.
That's like if Megatron was like a person, that would be like what's tattooed on like his biceps. It'd be
And here on the right arm, we got punish and
over here,
enslave.
that's so that needs to be fan art. Somebody please do that.
No, please don't. Please don't.
Anywho,
But during this whole squabble, Barricade transforms and starts asking Sam, "Are you Ladies Man 217? Huh? Are you Ladies Man 217?"
he's like,
"Yes."
and then he just runs over the car.
Well, he's like, "Where are the glasses?"
Right, and that's when he just like
Yeah.
does like a little thing where he just like turns around because he's on a windshield.
Yeah, and he tries to get off the car just to get kicked into another.
And at this point, Michaela shows up, and he just like
Dead sprints at her.
he dead sprints at her, and then he
Yeah.
does a freaking
Clothesline.
clothesline.
She clotheslines her off of her moped that she's probably going like 20 miles on.
And she's like, "What the heck, Sam?" He's like, "There's a monster after me. We gotta go." And I was like, "Is it gonna actually show it, or is she just gonna think he's crazy?"
Yeah, it shows Barricade dead sprinting
And
at
she's
them.
just like, "What?"
What is that?
And then Bumblebee shows up, and he's like, "You got to get in the car." She's like, "No, I'm not getting in the car. Get in the car right now!" And then they do, and we have an awesome action chase sequence.
Yeah. And I like the transformations between robot and car.
They're very fluid.
They're very fluid. Sometimes they're very almost instant with how quick they are.
I think the only thing I don't like about the new Transformer looks like in this movie, I think they're too intricate.
For the newer ones
Yeah,
or for like this movie.
like the live action movies. I
Mhm.
think they're a little too intricate. I mean, I understand like a car is like 1,000 moving pieces, but like there's just something about G1 that just feels good. You know what I mean?
You gotta remember G1 was like flat colors that just kind of materialized parts.
Well, the G1 is pretty much essentially like based completely off of the toys.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's just my opinion. But
B ends up driving through the city into an abandoned building. This was the part you're talking about.
yeah. And
Take
so
it away.
Yeah. And so he like backs up into like this corner, and Barricade's just driving around, and then they're just like,
Barricade does a sick burnout
he does a solid like 3 seconds straight spin.
because B drives through the window,
Yeah.
turns around, and Barricade?
But Barricade?
Barricade's right behind him, and like for some reason he can't catch up speed, so he turns around and just burns rubber for 3 seconds.
It's because it's not a Camaro, man. but then B just like shoots out behind him, and then Bumblebee throws Sam and Michaela out, and pretty much like transforms. And this is your first full shot of Bumblebee.
Yes.
And Barricade's like, "That's it, I'm gonna take you down." He drives over like some hill and he transforms midair, and they like collide and start to fight. And this is when Zimbot shows back up. he he freaking chases after Sam. He just like
That's what we forgot. When Zimbot was on the
plane
F1,
and
it landed,
and then he got
he-
inside Barricade.
yeah, he
That's
slipped
right.
away with Barricade.
But anyway, Zimbot like takes off Sam's pants in the struggle or something like that. He's just like,
It's
"No, it's
so
gonna kill me," and then throws him into like a fence. And then Michaela runs and gets his sawzall.
no. Zimbot didn't throw him. He's running away and he accidentally. Zimbot throws himself at Sam and they both tumble down a hill.
Yeah, that's right.
And Sam just kind of runs face first into the fence.
Kind of. But then it's the funniest shot of Sam just like in his boxers, just like in the ready stance, is like, what's gonna happen? And then Zimbot just charges at him. And
And
then
like he gets a good hit on Zimbot.
he does. And then Michaela gets a sawzall, which everybody knows a sawzall is gonna cut through a transformer.
Obviously.
And so all that's left is Zimbot's head, which turns him into like a spider bot.
Which is cool and concerning.
Yes.
Because that kind of makes me wonder, why don't the other Transformers do that?
Because it's not Zimbot.
I guess.
And so Zimbot finds Michaela's purse and he transforms into her foe. Yes.
Michaela doesn't have a purse.
It fell out.
That's
it-
Sam's phone. That's Sam's bag.
No. It's Michaela's purse because she grabs it.
Sam didn't have his pants on. Do you really think he wants to run back out there with no pants? Besides, the way the car was positioned.
Whatever. It was somebody's bag. Zimbot transformed
Well,
into
no.
somebody's phone.
Here, I'm going to explain this to you.
Okay.
We see the bag in Sam's room, right?
Yes.
Zimbot turns into Sam's phone. Zimbot is the recording.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't. Maybe none of us are right.
Maybe it was just a homeless person's
It was just a
bag.
homeless person's bag that Michaela stole.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Anyways, and so Bumblebee picks him up and he's like, "I'm an alien, yo." Through the radio, of course, because
Yeah.
he can't talk.
Yeah. B's voice box was destroyed in a fight, and he can only talk through radio.
And so they get back in the car, and Sam delivers one of the smoothest lines, quote unquote. He's like, "Hey, you want to sit over here on my lap? There's a seatbelt over here."
Yeah. Michaela doesn't want to sit in the front seat because Bumblebee is apparently driving himself.
Yes.
Which Sam does that,
That's
but that's probably just the Michaela thing.
yeah. Anywho, she's like, "If this guy is so impressive, how come he keeps turning into this piece of crap car?" And then he just stops, kicks him out, and drives off. And he's like, "Way to go, you pissed him off." And then we see Bumblebee driving on two wheels,
yeah, which is impressive.
and then he scans a new Camaro, and then he shows up in a 2007 Camaro, which is totally not to sell Camaros at all.
And this is his iconic look.
His iconic live action look, we should
Yes.
say.
His original look is still a yellow beetle.
Heck yeah. Back when Transformers didn't have to be cool cars.
They just had to be cool robots.
Yep. And so now they're like, "Man, this is kind of cool. I got a rich person car. We're all right." But Bumblebee stops in an alley,
Yes.
and we see meteorites.
4 to be exact.
And these are our Autobots:
Optimus Prime, Ratchet, and
Ironhide
Ironhide,
and Jazz.
Jazz.
And so this little sequence, we get all of them getting their scans and everything, becoming their iconic vehicles.
Yes. Optimus Prime is just kind of standing on a hill as a truck passes by, and it follows the truck for a second, cuts back to him, and he's already transformed. Um, Ironhide is the one that lands in the pool, right?
That's Optimus. Optimus lands in the pool, but he's
No, because the one I thought when it cut from the pool, it immediately showed that that one was.
uh
Well, okay, okay. I'm not gonna argue.
Ratchet's the one who crashed through like the building or whatever.
Yeah, and scans the medical unit.
Jazz scans a Pontiac sports car,
Yes,
and Ironhide scans a totally cool GMC truck.
which is in a suburban area
Yes.
where a pool might be.
I don't I've always assumed it was Optimus Prime. I don't maybe
I mean, it
I,
could be, but if you think about it, Ironhide would make more sense.
my only reasons on why I thought it was always Optimus Prime because the little girl that's standing there, maybe that was like his first connection to humankind. Maybe I don't know. It just seems like someone they would give for Optimus Prime. Um
Optimus Prime just he doesn't want to kill, but at the same time, he doesn't really seem all that intent on saving them, and we'll find that out later.
but then we all meet them in this alleyway in this cool transformation sequence, and
It,
we
it's a good sequence.
get Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime in a they definitely do something with his voice for this one because it's not just his voice for this particular movie. Can you tell? Like they kind of like put a little auto tune.
From what I've heard, that has been just his voice for every movie.
I don't know why, but it just feels kind of echoey to me.
Mm.
But anyways, he gives his whole "I am Optimus Prime."
That sounds more like Megatron.
Again,
I am Optimus Prime.
I am Optimus Prime.
There you go.
There we go. Peter Cullen, I'm coming for your job.
Yeah, right.
Totally gonna happen. Um,
But they all transform in this alleyway. Optimus Prime greets Sam.
pretty much breaks down everything for him in this next 15 minutes of exposition.
Yeah, which it's nice. I The way the CGI looks is very good.
He pretty much breaks down like the whole Cybertronian war for him, what the Allspark is, and like you are the key to Earth survival. We need your grandfather's glasses to find the Allspark before Megatron does. And we learn his grandfather found Megatron. Oh, did you say that when you were going over?
I did not.
Well, his grandfather, because I remember you talking about the Arctic Circle. I don't remember if you
Yes.
just went over the whole
No.
thing.
No. I was gonna go over that once it actually got brought up.
But his grandfather discovered Megatron, and because he crashed into Earth,
Yes.
and so he accidentally like messed with his navigation system
And it imprinted on his grandfather's glasses.
and blinding him as well.
Did it?
Yeah, because
Oh.
he said he went blind and he went crazy drawing symbols and stuff on like a sanatorium walls and stuff.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
It was during like the high school presentation when he was like it was like right at the very end of that.
Mm.
But so we're like, all right, we need to find these glasses. So they all go back to his house, and this is the hilarious, most funny scene in the entire movie.
I will let you describe this scene.
So we get Optimus Prime and all the others hanging around Sam's house, And originally they were just parked in the aisleway in the alley behind the house as cars. And Sam and Michaela look in and they're like, what's going on? They're all just in full robot mode, just standing in his backyard. And they're just like, oh my gosh, you cannot be doing this. You need to transform back. You need to go hide.
The backyard that his dad meticulously takes care of.
And Optimus steps on his dad's fountain. He's like, oops, sorry. And he just destroys everything. He's just so apologetic about all of it.
But he's also trying to rush Sam to find the glasses.
And so Ratchet accidentally walks into a power line, which destroys the Transformer. Not the Transformers, the power Transformer, which makes his parents think there's an earthquake. And so they're all like, oh my gosh, Sam, are you all right? And his door's locked and he's doing the classic, I'm going to open this door on the count of 5. And he opens it. And I don't really want to spoil this conversation because this conversation is gold standard writing.
Yeah, so we'll just say the mother brings up a topic that is between son and father.
Yeah, definitely.
And both Sam and the dad just kind of look at her when
Like,
she brings
stop.
it up. But they're all there giving Sam a hard time.
And then Michaela just comes out of hiding and they're just like,
hi, I'm Michaela.
and then the mom's like, I hope you didn't hear our family talk. And she's like, nope, totally didn't.
Totally not. Anyway.
Optimus, and then his dad notices that his yard is destroyed, and then it just pans out of the window, and all the Transformers are just like hiding around the house, trying to blend in. Optimus is like leaning over the roof, like, you can't see me.
Yeah, because Optimus is the tallest out of them.
Yes.
And Jazz is the shortest.
Yes. It would go Optimus, Ratchet, Ironhide, Bumblebee, then Jazz. Yeah. And then they're like, well, we got the glasses. And then Sector 7 shows up.
And just for a little quick explanation, Sector 7 is kind of this underground area, not really even authorized by the U.S. government.
They're essentially Mulder and Scully.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what that is, what? And so they're like, we deal with the extraterrestrial potentials that could affect the U.S. government.
And so they're trying to, pretty much they break into Sam's house. They're questioning his parents, and he walks down with Michaela. And what's the main guy's name?
Simmons.
Simmons sees him. He's like, "Hey, buddy, are you Sam?" Sam's just kind of,
yeah,
yeah. And Simmons tries to take them all away, like casually, until one of Simmons' guys walks up to him and is like, "Sir, direct contact." And Simmons pulls out a Geiger counter, which is weird. And he just says 17 rads. Bag 'em and sack 'em, boys. They're coming with us.
And then they're all like, all right, she's got a juvie record. Her dad's a car thief. You, potential conspiracy against the government. And they're like, what? No. And then all of a sudden, their car hits something.
Something big.
And that's right. It is an upset Optimus Prime.
Oh, yeah.
And I told Caden this, like, this is the most intense Optimus Prime's ever been.
Without having, like, a friend of his die.
Because, like, Peter Cullen's Optimus Prime is a usually pretty chill Optimus Prime. Like, this is definitely Peter Cullen's most intense iteration of the character so far.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's like, taking the children was a bad mistake.
And he just sets the car down, and he tells all the Sector 7 members to get out of their vehicles.
And then they're like, Autobots, relieve them of their weapons.
Who was it?
It was
Iron
Jazz who like
Jazz?
uses a magnet or whatever.
Chaz is such a weird character.
I know.
Like, he just break dances every now and then.
Every time he transforms, he does like a break dance.
He insults most of the enemies, and he has like a magnet in his hand.
Yeah. And so at this point, they're like, you are all. Simmons says something.
And
Bumblebee decides to
pee on him.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like, first he bops him in the head with something.
It's an oil can.
Oh.
And then he just shoots oil all over him, and Optimus is like, Bumblebee, stop lubricating the man. What a line.
Always. But after this, all the Sector 7 agents are kind of handcuffed
They're
together.
handcuffed. They make Simmons strip down to his tank top and boxers. And he's got S7 on like a Superman logo on his shirt and Simmons written on his back of his tank top.
Oh, I didn't realize. I didn't see that.
That's where I learned his name. Was like, dude, I remember his name. And then it's like, it's Simmons. Look at his shirt.
But they're all taped together, and Simmons asks like his right hand guy, like, "Hey, calling reinforcements."
He's like, already done. Did you know that guy is from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
I did. I knew he looked familiar.
I know. It's like, it's the janitor that sucks at everything.
See, I thought he was from Good Luck Charlie.
No.
No.
But anyways, at this point, and so this starts a chase between Optimus, some helicopters, and Optimus is holding on to Michaela and Sam, and they're after him, and Optimus pretty coolly hides underneath a bridge.
Yeah, he does some ninja moves,
Yeah.
which is really funny for his size.
But the helicopters fly underneath this bridge, and Sam and Michaela drop, and Bumblebee drives underneath them and catches him.
Yes.
And he gets captured in the process.
And they're blasting him with liquid nitrogen, I would assume.
Yes.
And this is to keep him from going haywire on him.
Yep. And at this point, we're all like, hey, aliens are real. Sector 7 is real. The Secretary of Defense calls in Maggie, and we forgot to mention her friend Glenn.
Yes.
Anthony Anderson.
Yeah, this whole situation, Maggie goes to see her friend with secret information about what the sound was. He decrypts it almost instantly.
As a language.
Yes.
And the FBI shows up, confiscates them.
Yeah, they almost instantly, the FBI is there as well.
But anyways, Maggie and Glenn, Sam and Michaela, and SecDef, so our Secretary of Defense, is now at the Hoover Dam, which is the headquarters of Sector 7. And
This is where they're keeping
Bumblebee, Megatron,
who they say is NDE-1.
MBE-1, non-biological extraterrestrial.
Okay.
And also, Allspark.
Yeah. And like I said, the Allspark is massive. And it also produces a lot of energy.
And they built the Hoover Dam to contain the energy in this world.
4 football fields worth of concrete.
Yeah. And so Zimbot's back,
Of course.
and he
starts
Fine.
hacking into stuff again.
No.
Not yet.
He sees the Allspark and he sends a message to Starscream,
That's what it was.
and he's like, Decepticons, move on my location. Hail Megatron. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And at this point, this is when Zimbot cuts the power, and now Megatron is starting to thaw.
Yeah.
That's
He-
bad
he-
news.
He's been there for what? A couple of decades, they said?
This 2007, they put him in that cryo freeze in 1935.
So yeah.
About 80 years.
Yeah, a couple decades.
And so he's starting to thaw. Optimus and the others are like, we now know the location. We got the glasses. Roll out.
And who was it? Ratchet was like, what? We're just going to leave
No, Jazz was.
Jazz.
And so they now have the plan to destroy the Allspark because it's too powerful.
Yeah.
And they can't risk it being lost or taken again. And so now everybody, including the military, which we forgot to mention, Lennox and all episodes with them were there too. But they're all like, we need to get this thing out of here. Give the boy his car back. And now Bumblebee touches
The Allspark.
and it transforms into like a little 12 by 12 by 12 inch cube.
And I brought this up to Logan, and I'm like, that thing's probably 400 tons at its normal size, and now it's condensed into this 1 foot by 1 by 1 by 1 foot cube.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be able to lift that.
But he carries it like a football.
Yep.
Anywho, Megatron is now broken free, killing everybody.
Sending them on vacation.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. For our younger audiences, they're on vacation. They're not dead.
No.
Nobody dies. You just go on an extended vacation.
Yeah. Megatron may be a genocidal overlord ruler, but he's also a fair man.
Yeah,
Robot.
he gives a lot of PTO. Whole lot of PTO.
Like, once you get sent to vacation,
You don't have to come back.
ever.
And so, he escapes, and immediately he does what Megatron always does. He just yells at Starscream. He's like, "Where's the Allspark?" He's like, "The humans have taken it." He's like, "You failed me again, Starscream." It's like, well, that only took 5 minutes for something from Starscream to get yelled at for.
Yeah.
But
That
the worst
happens a
part
lot.
is Starscream is a glutton for abuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a whole different conversation. So Bumblebee has the Allspark,
Okay.
and they're driving to the nearest town to hide it.
Yes. And they are also followed by a military convoy with,
Lennox and Epps.
Yep.
And the
As-
Autobots.
yes, as they're driving away, they pass the other Autobots, which you mentioned this, that they
It's-
did the cleanest J-turn with a
Semi.
truck.
Like, clean, man. Like, this stunt driver,
He knows what he's doing.
he's the man. But Keller, which is the Secretary of Defense, Maggie and Glenn and Simmons are trying to hail the Air Force.
Which, yeah, we didn't mention there was a global blackout due to a virus.
Yes.
Which, during the first raid, all the way at the beginning of the movie, a virus was implanted, which was then followed up by Zimbot.
The blackout started the virus. Zimbot finished it and everything. Blackout started to input the virus when he was messing around.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Like, there's a worldwide blackout.
Yeah. And I'm talking about the Decepticon blackout.
I know.
Okay.
And they said there's a worldwide blackout for
Okay.
communication.
Okay.
Listen!
This is your movie. I'm sorry. But they're trying to send a Morse code and everything, and Zimbot shows up yet again
To be a little menace.
to be a little menace, and he wants to give people vacation,
Of course.
but he gives himself vacation.
Yeah. He's nimble. He's very scrawny and nimble. He's fast moving. He originally tries to break into the bunker doors, but they shoot at him. They
Set him on fire.
I want to say with like napalm or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
They barricade the door. He's like, you know what? I'll just crawl through the vent.
He falls through the vent.
Yeah, after getting shot at.
Yep.
And he has these like bladed projectiles,
Yeah.
which for some reason work as a boomerang. And he throws one from behind a pillar.
And it just cuts his head in half.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's left is one of his eyeballs.
It's like, oh crap. And then he falls.
And again, if only Zim was the voice, would it be perfect?
Yeah, maybe.
But in my hearts, he will always be Zimbot.
Yeah. But after this
We cut back to the city, and pretty much war.
is breaking out
Yes.
because the Decepticons are now here, as well as the Autobots.
And
Air Force. Air Force is on their way.
yes.
Military convoys there.
And so that Bumblebee gets his legs go on vacation.
Yeah, I hate that. But what happened is it was Ratchet as well, right? That helped Bumblebee? Or was it Ironhide?
It was Ironhide.
Ironhide and Bumblebee lift up like a lace truck
Yeah.
for cover, only for Starscream to just shoot like 3 rockets. And Bumblebee gets stuck under some debris with his legs blown off.
Yep. And so now Michaela is hooking up a tow truck to him, in which case they're going to do some backwards stunt driving, shooting
In a little bit. Because right now she's trying to.
There's this whole sequence is just hard to piece together on its own because
so
it moved.
confusing.
It's so yeah. But anyways, Optimus is late.
Yes, go figure. Because
He was in a fight on a highway
yeah, we
with
didn't.
I forget his
It
name.
doesn't matter.
It
Just
doesn't
a
matter.
Decepticon,
A Decepticon.
and he ends up falling off a highway.
Yes. And they land in front of this car with a kid and his mom, and they're just fighting in front of this car, and the kid turns and is like, "Mom, that's cool."
Yeah.
And so pretty much Optimus finally shows up.
Yeah, and I think it's also at this point that Ironhide and Ratchet tell Sam to run away with the cube. They'll cover him.
So the plan is
Oh, that's right. I'm ahead.
not really. It's like I said, it's hard to piece this part of the movie together
Yeah.
because you get like 10 minutes of action, plan, action, plan, no
Act-
more plan, action, action, action. So Lennox pretty much is like, we got to get the cube out of the city. They're here. Sam, take the cube, take this flare, get to the top of this building. Helicopter will be there to intercept.
Yes.
And so Ratchet, Ironhide are cover fire.
Yes.
Sam gets inside.
Did we talk about Jazz?
It's not there yet. Sam just gets inside as like this is simultaneous events.
Okay.
That's why it's hard to.
Okay. Yeah, a
'cause
lot.
There's so much intercuts and all of this is happening all at once essentially. So Jazz pretty much intercepts Megatron for some unknown reason.
And Jazz is like half the size of Megatron.
He's like, "What do you want, Decepticon punk?"
"You want a piece of me?"
And so he just starts shooting at him, and Megatron's just like, "No, I want two," and he just cuts him. He just pulls him apart in 2 pieces.
And Logan, you said this. You were very sad when this happened.
When I was 7 and I saw a main character of a movie die, I was like, "Why?" I was a very emotional child. I had just lost my grandfather at that point in my life. So I was still very finicky about death and stuff. All right.
Right.
Apologies to your whatever. Um, but
Also, you said that was your favorite robot, your favorite Autobot at the time?
yeah, just
Or
just just because of like how slick he was, and I actually had a little Hot Wheels car of him. I don't know why I had that specific one, but mom and dad got me one, and I was like, awesome, I have a Jazz. Then I watched the movie, Jazz,
yeah, Jazz ain't no more
Jazz on vacation
forever.
on that Cybertronian beach overlooking the sea of oil.
Ew. Oh.
Um,
Oh, one fight there and the entire planet goes up in flames.
that's why it's a vacation spot. Um, so
Megatron pretty much sends Jazz on vacation and then he starts hunting down Sam.
this is when Optimus shows up. Because if you think about it, just as he cuts him in half, Optimus shows up, does his side swipe transformation thing, and that's when Megatron's like prime, and he just throws the two pieces of Jazz into buildings, and he pretty much
Which is so disrespectful.
and then he jumps in the air in a turn, transforms, flies at Optimus. He grabs him. That's when they fly through the building.
Mm.
And that's pretty much when Optimus pretty much just eats dirt because he usually does against Megatron.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, 9 times out of 10, Optimus is going to lose against Megatron.
Because Megatron was a gladiator.
Yes, in the original story, Megatron was a purebred warrior.
And Optimus was a clerk.
Yes.
So, but at this point, I'm not. Oh yeah, because he obviously just throws Optimus across the street, and he's like, "The cube," and that's when the whole chase sequence with Sam and Megatron happens. He Starscream shoots down the helicopter that's supposed to intercept.
Yeah.
They're on vacation.
Yeah. And at this point, Optimus is kind of running up that building.
Yeah, he's like running on a roof somehow.
It was like an overhang.
Yeah. And so
And here's my thing. As he's running on this overhang, he could have grabbed the helicopter that was falling.
yeah, he could have saved these guys, but he's just like, nope.
He focuses attention on Sam to get the cube.
And Sam is hiding behind like this angel on the edge of the building. And he's just like, give me the cube, boy. He's just like,
No.
and then he just crumbles that specific
Corner.
Yeah. And then Optimus catches him. And then he does like this kind of like reverse sidewall jumping thing.
He just slides down a wall.
Yeah. But he goes back and forth once. And that's what it made me think of. Like the wall jumping. That just made me
Yeah.
think about it. But anyways, at this point, Optimus is like, if I can't stop him, you must put the cube in my chest and I will sacrifice myself to destroy it. And Sam's like, okay, I promise.
I'll do that and only that.
Yep.
With nothing else in mind.
Nope.
Ever.
And so this is when we get the iconic line that Optimus has been saying for the past 30 years. One shall
will
stand and one shall fall. And then
Which is it's funny because they both fall.
well, like they don't even like decide not to even show either of them while saying this line. You just see Sam messing around with some rubble. Like, excuse me. But anyways, they're pretty much both like winded, and they're like, "I'm too old for this."
Oh, I've been around since the dawn of time. My aching metal bones, they hurt.
And so they're both on the ground. Sam is in between them. Megatron charges at Sam.
Kind of like crawls.
This not yet,
Oh,
because Optimus like trips him.
that's right.
Pretty much like, "Hey, no leg bones for you." then he's like, crawling like a zombie or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? Screw this. It takes the Allspark and he just implodes it in Megatron's chest. And now Megatron is on
vacation.
retirement.
Vacation.
Vacation, and I feel like it's too permanent. Retirement,
It's vacation.
it's vacation.
Because after everything that man is gonna go through, we're gonna call it vacation.
Yeah, that's fair.
But he can choose when to leave.
He can because he's one of the higher paids.
Yes,
He gets to come back.
he does
He does
a lot,
every time.
so many times. They can't just let him rest.
And now, when you're like, well, we're doing the other crappy Transformers villains. When we get Megatron back again?
Yeah, it's like I hate him, but I feel bad for him. Like they can't just leave him where he's at the bottom of the ocean. No, they just got to bring him back and be like, hey,
Yeah, because now he gets to be another villain's Starscream, and he still has a Starscream. But anyways,
this ends the war pretty much.
It ends the It ends the Cybertronian Civil War. They can't go back home, so they decide to make Earth their home.
Which I don't think that would. As the movies show, that doesn't go over very well. Simply because there's just a lot of fighting, and
it goes over well for a while,
yeah,
but it's just until like a lot of others show up in like the second one that it just becomes like a problem.
Yeah,
because as far as they know, there's only like these 5. But Optimus Prime pretty much sends out a call. It's like, hey, party on Earth. Come on down. Without telling anybody.
Yeah.
And then we get a nice
soothing pull away from the cast sitting on that makeout hill from the beginning of the movie.
With Optimus giving one heck of a speech, like he always does.
Before we get to that, I want to point out, Sam did get the girl.
Sam got the girl.
Bumblebee's legs are back on.
I thought about that. If he transformed without his legs, would that just mean he has like no rear tires?
Yes.
Oh, that would suck.
Because I think there's been a couple instances of that.
It's hard to tell. But then we get an awesome outro song
from Linkin Park.
Which this was my first exposure to Linkin Park as a kid.
Yeah, it was mine too.
Because like for the longest time, I was like, Linkin Park's only got 2 good songs. It's the ones from Transformers. And then I started actually listening to them. So like, holy crap, these guys are amazing in everything.
Holy crap, I've never been more wrong.
But, and that is scene. Caden, any final thought, any questions, I should say?
I actually have a couple.
Okay.
Like, are we doing our questions or just overall questions?
Our questions.
Okay. So, my first question, out of all the Autobots that we've seen in the first movie, who would you rather have as a guardian? Because at some point they do say that Bumblebee is Sam's guardian.
Mm-hmm.
So who would you rather be yours?
Optimus. I'm an Optimus Prime guy.
See, I'd have to stick with Bumblebee.
It would be one of the two.
Yeah.
It definitely would.
For me, it's just more Bumblebee.
I just like Optimus just because of his ideology, and like he's just got a cool voice, man. Like just you could like walk out to your barn and be like, "What's up, Optimus?" and just have a conversation with him. That'd be cool. Like, what do you think about freedom? And he just gives you a 5-hour long speech on freedom.
All right.
I'm also sure you have a lot of war stories and stuff to tell.
Oh, probably.
Like, he also was like at the core of all Cybertronian knowledge at one point, being a clerk of the library or whatever it was called, something like that.
Something like that.
But about how I want to word this. I know my question. It's
Okay.
just how I want to word it. Um, out of the known Transformers, like the ones you know and everything, if you could swap out any characters with those, who would it be?
Like in this movie,
Yes. Like let's say, well, I wouldn't have minded Hound or something being in one or something like that.
you see, aside from uh, the characters from the movies, I'm not all too familiar with them, but there is one that I would change, and that is Devastator.
Okay, he gets two chimes technically.
So in in the movie, there is a tank that goes by the name Devastator. In I think Dark of the Moon,
Revenge of the Fallen.
Revenge of the Fallen, there is a colossal amalgamation of like 12 different vehicles, also called Devastator. I like the movie from the version from Revenge of the Fallen more than in this movie.
Okay.
What about you?
I would have, for me, I would have picked, I would have put RC in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I would have rather seen RC than Jazz. Not like anything against Jazz or anything like that. But when you're talking about like the foundation of your Transformers, RC's one of like the few Autobots or like ones you can like just pull off the top of your head.
Right.
I mean, yes, she did show up in the second and third movie technically, but
Yeah,
quote
by
unquote.
technicality.
But like, and then we didn't really like get her until Rise of the Beasts. But like, still, she is one of the few Autobots, and literally, Optimus is second in command.
Yeah.
Like, I just I feel like if they were going to build more on like the history of Cybertron and stuff, they would have had to. But since they didn't, I understand why they didn't have to have.
Right.
Your next question, sir.
All right. This is a Bumblebee question.
Okay.
Would you rather have the 68 version that he starts off in the movie or the car that he turns into later?
68 version.
Same.
Okay, here's pretty much my version of that question. Optimus Prime. Original over under truck.
Over under truck.
So we're like there's so like you pretty much sit on top of the engine, like the front of the truck is flat.
Okay.
Like original Optimus Prime or Peterbilt semi Optimus Prime.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I know.
See, they both look good. I'd have to say over under.
Ditto. And I'm so glad they finally did it in Rise of the Beast. I was like, we finally have live action, original Optimus Prime. And we'll get into it when we go over that movie.
Sometime.
Let's say it'll probably be somewhere between season 2 and 3, somewhere's in there. But like I love what they did with Optimus in that movie, just specifically. But yeah, like you can't beat G1 in some
Mm,
instances. Like yes, they did improve a lot on some of the other designs, but like some of them, like Megatron's look in this movie, meh.
yeah, it's intimidating for
It's
sure.
intimidating, but like
And I think that's what they were more going for.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of emotions up with Transformers and stuff,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of fan base that is very toxic.
Well, you're gonna get that with any fan base.
Yeah.
But anyway, any other question?
No, but I do want to mention something.
Is it our next movie?
No,
Okay.
it's something about Transformers.
Okay.
So 2 years ago, I'm into horror movies,
Okay.
and you know, like the classic horror movies is like some of my favorites or whatever.
Yeah.
And Hunter in our friend group, he loves Transformers.
Okay.
And he was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I was like, "I don't know." And so I was just scrolling through my Google News like I usually do in the mornings, and I noticed that Hasbro was putting out Universal Monsters X Transformers limited series, and Frankenstein is my favorite monster,
Okay.
besides all of them, obviously.
Right.
But it had Frankenstein X Megatron. On my desk in front of both of us is Frankentron, mint in box, untransformed. It is the coolest thing on the planet, and it will always be on one of my desks.
And this has been here since the beginning of our recordings.
It has been, but we haven't had to bring up Transformers. So, like,
Now we have.
I just want to say there is a Transformer on my desk. And so I just want you to know we are fans of Transformers.
Yes.
But
All right.
our next movie,
What's it gonna be?
it is a big one. Another one hit from Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
It is 1990 somethings because I can't exactly remember what. Yeah. Twister. The original Twister.
I
Sorry.
have not. I don't think I've seen that one.
You've seen the second one because we went and seen that one in theaters last year.
Yes.
And you were like, "This is so cool. I love this movie." I was like, "You're gonna like the first one maybe a little bit better." And I'm so happy I finally get to show it to you because I've been trying to get you to sit down to watch that movie since then.
And now I have to watch it.
I know. So awesome. Hostage situation. Yeah.
Without the hostage or the situation.
Yeah. Exactly what it is. All right, Caden, anything you want to say before we sign off here?
Not that I can think of.
Well, in that case, I'm Logan Thomas,
I'm Caden Green.
and this has been The Real Bros. Transform and roll out, everybody.
I'm not doing that, but see you later.
See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.